Hi guys, this is Duncan from dunksblog.com, and here I am with the Nook Simple Touch. And I know what you're thinking, why am I talking about a device that was released 2 years ago? But in the past few months in the UK, this device has been selling for £29 or $45. That's a very good price for a touchscreen e-reader, and there's a lot more that can be done with this too, which I'll explain in a second. So what's so great about this? So we have the hardware buttons on the left and right to change the pages. We have the full touchscreen, which actually works extremely well. You'll see how crisp and clear the text is. So you can read this under direct sunlight, unlike other tablets where you'll get shining from the screen. This is all matte, and also the battery life on this is incredible. This will last you for 2 months if you were to use this 30 minutes a day. That's what's quoted anyway, so expect a little bit less. But this is more than what's expected of the iPad. Obviously, there's a lot less running here. This is all e-ink, so the text is going to be as if you're reading from a book. It's thin and light. We have expandable storage, micro SD. You can see it's very fingerprinty, but the front looks very good in all angles as well. So let's get further into it. If you're very new to e-readers or you're not interested in books, this would be something that you could try out. Reading books is obviously a great pastime to have away from the computer if you want to get a distraction-free experience, and if you were to get something like learning programming or something like that, you can just sit and read and not have any distractions. If you are again new to e-readers, you'll see there that it just flashed a little bit. That's not because the e-reader's broken. This actually has an advantage over some other e-readers in that it doesn't do that on every page that you're reading, but it does do it. That's just to refresh the e-ink display. It's just how the displays work. There's not a problem with them. You get adjusted to it very quickly as you have these e-readers as well. So all that is well and good. That's a nice little e-reader for £29, but what else can it do? Well, if you root this device, you can get full on Android. So I'm going to go ahead and hold the M button, which I've set to change to my launcher, and this is now changed to a Android experience. Now this is Android 2.1, so it's an older version, which means it's not going to be compatible with many applications, but you can run the most popular most of the time. If I go along the applications I have along the bottom, we have Google Calendar and Google Mail. Now when you root this device, it's very easy to do. All you need to do is get a micro SD card. You need a reader for that that's not the Nook, so you'd need to get a USB reader, or if you have one in your PC you'll be fine anyway, but then you need to put an image, which will be available in the description. Just put that on there using something like WinImage32 or whatever is available. Write that to the disk, put it in and reboot, and it's very simple. You just follow some step-by-step instructions, back up your system first, and it just press root and it does it. It's that simple, and you're in here. But then you also get an add-ons package, which is for the Google stuff, so make sure you get that in there too after you've done the rooting process. It's very easy as well. Just copy a few folders across and then write them in the same process that you did the root. So Google Calendar and Google Mail, they both look very good on this device because they've done it in a way that's formatted for mobile. This resolution is 800 by 480. It looks a little bit larger because the thing itself here may even on the screen look quite large, but it's not actually that large. It will fit inside a jeans pocket. Has fitted in quite a few of mine, so it's quite a nice device. Anyway, we have RSS Daemon. I use that for reading my feeds, so news feeds. Also have Laters, which is using Read It Later, which is now known as Pocket. So for any articles you save online, you can go ahead and put that on here. And we have the Android Market, which doesn't work with searching, but there is an application that has been provided for you called Search Android Market, which is quite nice. That works well, but to be honest, I recommend just going on the desktop and installing it that way. Go to play.google.com, install it. You get a little option called Phone. Choose that option, and then that will come onto the device. Within due course, you may have to actually go onto the app to do it. And then finally, we have Opera Mobile. So that's the recommended browser for this, because I believe it has good scrolling capability, because you can scroll on this device. You can actually add games on here too. Some people have added a Mega Drive emulator, some people have added a PlayStation emulator. Processor on this, I believe, runs at 800 megahertz, or maybe 600, I'm not sure, one of the two. Some people have even downclocked this to get even more battery life from the 2 months that's been quoted. But the refresh rate isn't too bad on this, but I wouldn't recommend using this as a games device. For example, if I just hold the menu button and go to move it around. You can see that it does move around, but there's obviously a delay there, so I wouldn't. It's not going to be a pleasant experience moving stuff around on a game. You can just simply switch back to the home screen easily just by pressing the Nook button once. You see you've got home, library, shop, search, settings, so just clicking that will go back to the screen that you saw at the beginning of the video, which said where I was at. I often use the library option, but I've actually put that over here, even though the icon looks quite small. You may not see that, but that's the library, and that will put me back to my books to start reading again. We had the notification bar at the top. In the middle is back, and what would normally happen is if you were doing a right click or menu on the system, that will bring up that. These are almost always on the screen. So we also have the battery life. We have Wi-Fi on this device, which I forgot to mention, but Wi-Fi is really needed for web browsing, things like that. And to switch back to your book is very easy. Just press that button there and it will go through, and there's your Android notifications. This is probably going to tell me that I need to add some friends because I have no friends. I don't really care. So one other thing about this is that normally if you're with Nook and you don't want to get books from Nook, you want to sideload them, one thing you can do is get Kindle. You can get the Kindle app on here, works fine, and you can read from that Kindle app. You can also get the Kobo store. If you've had a Kobo e-readers, you can get that too. But a lot of people have been using the DropSync method. They use Calibre on their desktop system and then get DropSync. So use Calibre to save all your book library onto the Dropbox area, and then use DropSync on your device to just bring it all over, and then you can just click it and then it'll add it to your library. So it's a great way to have wireless adding of books that you've got on your computer, on your computer's library, without having to plug this in, because more often than not you're not going to need to plug this in, especially to charge, because it could just last for so long. So DropSync, highly recommended. Calibre, highly recommended. If you're new to ebooks, Calibre is a great way to get books, edit information of books. It's kind of like the iTunes of books, basically. So yeah, this is a nice little device to have. Obviously you can put widgets on here if you want to. It's a full Android experience. It's very nice. It'd be quite useful to have if you were going to school, because you could put referential books on here, and you could tell your teacher, you could probably use this in class, you could just tell her that I'm reading books, I've got books on here, and then you could just suddenly switch out and go to your Android experience whenever you want and start checking emails and doing other things if you wish. So highly recommend it. Very cheap Android tablet, I guess I could say. Even though it's designed to be an e-reader, it's very, very nice to have. So thanks for watching this video. I'm going to try and put out more consistent videos from this walking forward. So I'll see you guys in the next one.